Hello everyone, Bob Bauer with Warriors Heart USA again. Today I'm making this video because I want to talk to you about worry. You know, it's just something that we don't seem to be able to get away from in this life. Worry has destroyed many lives. In fact, if worry was a plant in a garden, it would be that one plant that would be a toxic weed. It would strangle the life out of all the plants that was around it. I know that if worry was an Olympic sport, I would be a gold medalist at it. We just can't seem to get away from worry. As a parent of 3 daughters and a son, I worry about them. I'm concerned about their future. I want my daughters to find the right men in their life, my son the right woman in their life. I want them to find careers that will provide them happiness and fulfillment. I'm like everybody else. I worry about paying my bills. Do I have more month than I do check? You know, Winston Churchill was once asked if he ever worried. His response was, when I look back on all these worries that I had over the years, I remember a story of an old man on his deathbed. The old guy said he had a lot of troubles in his life, but most of which had been things that never ever happened. Isn't that the truth for most of us, that we spend a lot of time worrying about things that never come to pass, or worry about things that aren't true? People come and tell us stories that aren't true, stir the pot. Tremendous amount of things that we worry about. Right now in the presses across the world, we're worried about a nuclear war with North Korea. We're worried about the collapse of the government. We just constantly worry, and there's people out there that will continue to feed that worry. Well, think about how worry affects your life in general. One thing it's been said that if we fixate ourselves on our worries, it becomes a heavy weight around our neck. Because what we do is we focus more on the problem than we do the solution. I want to share with you a story that helped me deal with my worry. And actually, it's been very effective for me. My son's a baseball player, so I identify with this story a great deal. But imagine this, you're standing in a batter's box, and you're there, you got the bat in your hand, and you're taking a stance, and you look around in the stands and you see a lot of people there. Some of them there are to cheer you on, they're your supporters, and others are there hoping that you'll fail. You look over to the left and you see your dugout, your teammates, your coaches, you know, the supporters. And then you look right in front of you and there's the pitcher. Now that pitcher's job is to strike you out. His job is to steal from you your joy, to kill your chances and destroy all your opportunities. So what do? You got a choice. You can begin to worry. Now, like most of us, if we begin to worry, we start to worry about, what if I fail? The what if game. What if I fail? I'll let my teammates down. I'll embarrass my family and friends. I may get cut from the team. All these things are there to worry about if we choose to. In fact, I'll tell you, if you spend more time worrying on whether you're going to hit that ball or not, I can almost assure you that you'll strike out. It's kind of the same thing in life. But if you get in that batter's box with confidence, and you look around all the people in the stands, and you look at your teammates standing in the dugout, and you stare down that pitcher, your primary focus is to focus on that ball, not the what ifs, because that's not the game. It's that ball. And if you focus on that ball, you have a greater chance of getting a hit. Now, using a baseball analogy, maybe they'll throw some wild pitches and you'll walk to base. Maybe you'll tip off a foul. Or maybe you'll strike out. But you kept focus on that ball. What was told to me is Jesus Christ is that ball. If we stay focused on Jesus Christ, sure, we're going to have troubles in our life. We're going to have challenges in our life. We're going to have battles in our life. But you know what? We're not by ourselves. Jesus has our back. In fact, in Matthew chapter 6, verse 25, it says, don't worry about your life. That's pretty straightforward. Don't worry about your life, what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear, what you're going to drink. Don't worry. Oh, I know what you're saying. Bob, it's easier for you to say don't worry because you're not in the swamp with me. You don't have the alligators gnawing at your heels. How's all this going to make my life better? I don't have the money to pay the rent, buy groceries, buy clothes for my kids, put gas in my car, pay the insurance, pay the car payment, or even pay for my medical insurance. And it's not going to help if I tell you, I've been there, I've done that, I've experienced it. It won't make a difference in your situation whatsoever. But what will, and I promise you, what will is Jesus Christ. I assure you, I know for a fact, because recently I was battling the same what-if worry games. I battle that on a frequent basis. But I found myself one day flat on my face, crying, literally crying and sobbing to God. God, I don't know what I'm going to do. My kids are going to college. I don't have the money for their tuition. I've got to pay for my medical insurance. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And then I heard this voice in the back of my head said, write it down. Write it all down and then give it to me and leave it alone. About that time, I was reminded of the scripture in Matthew chapter 7, verse 7 says, ask and ye shall receive, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks will receive, and anyone that seeks will find, and the door will be open to those who knock. So I did what I was told. I grabbed my journal. See if I have it here. Here it is. Hold on a sec. This is my journal. I write in it everything, which is good to have. But I wrote in my journal everything that I was facing as a challenge. And I went about my business, continuing doing the things that I've been called to do, reaching out and ministering to people. And I didn't worry about those things anymore. I gave them to God. It's like, okay, you want them, you have them, you want them, take them, they're yours. And I didn't worry about them. No, I didn't. And I'm gonna promise you, it's not that easy. But I turned it over to God. And as each task that I had that I was worried about was being accomplished, I checked them off. Both my girls have college tuition. They filled out their FAFSA forms and they were approved. They have they got grants. They're paying for their tuition. Their books and their tuition, they're covered. 2 check marks. My phone bill's paid, check mark. My car insurance paid, check mark. Other tasks I needed to do, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. And you know what? When I stopped worrying about it and I focused on that ball, it happened. And that's what I want to tell you. Worry did nothing for me but destroy my hope. For without hope, there's no future. Corrie ten Boom once said, and go ahead and Google Corrie, Correy-Tenboom. Go ahead and Google her and read her story. But she once said, worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows, it empties today of its strength. I know times are tough. I feel alone and isolated. But I assure you, if you reach out to God and give Him the pains of your heart, He's got your back. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to list some biblical scriptures about worry and how to deal with worry and anxiety. Write those down and get out some index cards. I thought I had some around here I was going to show you, but get out some index cards and write those scriptures on them. And whenever you feel like you're being attacked with worry, read those scriptures. Counter evil with good. Anyhow, this is Warriors Heart USA, and we're listening. Thank you.